Hi, how you doing? Hope you are well and safe and having a great day. I'm having a great day. Yesterday I went for a walk with the lovely Special K. It was early evening and the sun was setting, and I got loads of photos for source material for painting. The one I'm going to use today though, I took before the sun was setting, so I've got some really pretty photos, and I've chose to use one that's grey and miserable. Why? Because I want to talk about pattern and composition. So let's get into the video and see what I'm talking about. I'm working in Rebelle and I'm going to do a pastel painting today. I haven't tried the pastels in version 5 and I've upgraded to 5.4, and it does say that things are a little bit faster, so hopefully some of the lag may have disappeared. Let's hope so. And I don't normally show you me setting up the papers, but today I'm going to, because the canvas I'm going to use is going to be hot pressed, and that is because it's not got a lot of texture in it, because I don't want loads and loads of texture with a pastel painting really. So hot pressed is a watercolor paper, but it's a very tight texture, so that's why I'm going with that one. I'm going to choose a canvas color, and I'm not picking one of the default ones. I'm going to use something that looks quite nice, but I don't want it quite as bright and vibrant as that. Shall we go with something like that maybe? Yeah, I've got sort of a russet colour. Click OK, and I'm using the A3 size paper in portrait mode, because that's what I did the last oil painting in, and it will give me an idea what the lag's like. Move that over to the side, and then let's get the image in, because as well as using pastels, I want to talk about why I've chosen a particular image to use in this painting. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to navigate to that picture and drag it across. Quick cut there. This is the image I'm going to use. I just drag that into my reference image, and as you now know, we have to actually click on the image. Where do I click the image? That's it. Just click on the image to display it, because this is a library of your reference images, so you could put 4 or 5 in, and this is the actual reference image. And you might be thinking, Steve, why have you chosen such a boring looking photograph to paint? And the idea, what struck me by this scene was this pattern, this zigzag pattern that led up to the barn. I'm going to ignore that tree there. Lamppost isn't really, not lamppost, telegraph pole isn't really working for me, perhaps, I don't know. And I'm not so sure about the tree. It's the barn and this zigzag shape that really inspired me to want to paint this. So what I'm suggesting is, when you start looking for things to photograph, look for patterns in nature, because I do that, and you know, you can come up with some pretty funky designs. So color set, I think with pastel I could have gone to a color set and used you know, a palette here. This is the actual pastel colors, I believe. Yeah, I've got the pastel colors selected. But to be honest, if I show you my pastel palette, in which I'll put it on screen now. There you go. You can see I've got a lot of colours in my palette, and this just doesn't cut it. So for this exercise, I think I'm going to use the colour picker. Then I can use this as my sort of primary colours and then dip into the range of tones that I would have in my palette box. And I'm still going to switch the pigment mixer on because I've been reliably informed that it still works, just we just haven't got named pigments, so we'll see anyway. I'm going to use pastels, and I'm going to use this charcoal set and maybe dry media down here, as well as the actual pastels. Before, I've just worked with these pastels, and then I discovered that we've got these here as well, and scratches. That might be interesting. I don't know what that's going to do. So we've got a lot more to work with than what you might first imagine. So I'm going to start with a charcoal, I think. Let's start with a soft one. I'm using the square brackets to resize this up. Just thinking of getting some zigzag shapes in. Something like that. Oops. Oh, I picked the colour off the photo. That was unfortunate. Let's go back to there. I need to do that. We've got this sort of edge, and then we've got these edges coming off here, there. Now I'm thinking we need this tree. I'm liking that tree. Pop that in there. And then the barn. I am going to forget the rules of thirds, where you sort of divide. And then let's change the colour. The rules of thirds, where you might split your page up like that. I've sort of put a focus. Try and get it in the third, where you put some detail there or there, or maybe there in this case. I'm going to totally ignore that today, because I want to put my focal point just here, like that, in the center. I'm breaking the rules, because rules are meant to be broken, of course. Everything I tell you, just ignore it. And I think we've got quite a nice composition going off. So that's sort of laid it out for me where I want to go with it. Now I just need to get some colour on and things. And let's go to the pastels. Let's see what we've got in the pastels. Let's just go square hard to start with. And I'm thinking some nice sort of purpley blues, that I like. See, that to me looks a bit soft. What's this one? That's better. And just sort of some colour on there. Mix it up a bit. Now, I do work with a lot of purple pastels, sort of this dark set here, and even darker still, I've got my hand on the keyboard, or positioned over the left and right square bracket keys, index finger, because I'm left-handed, so I'm using my right hand, index finger on the left square bracket, and middle finger on the right square bracket, so I can just keep resizing my brush up as I'm going all the time. So I don't even have to look. I can just continually work and sort of get big sweeping brush strokes in, or not, These are sort of the distant trees. Done it again. I keep touching. I'm just going to have to shrink this source photo down a bit, just move it over because I keep picking that colour up and I don't want to do that. I can use the Alt key to pick that colour back up again, and okay, that's got it. That's as big as I can get that. So I'm just going to try these charcoals. Maybe that one. See, can I get that any bigger? No, that's as big as that will go. Well, that's a soft. That's nice to use. It's not what I want here. This charcoal soft. I can use that to do a bit of blending maybe. What's this one? I'd like to have seen these pastels be able to be made a little bit bigger, so you can sort of almost, you know, put the pastel on its side. What's this? Oh, now we're talking. Let's put some. That's it. That's kind of the size I want. I could use that soft one. Will that allow me to sort of smudge that out and blend it a bit? That's quite nice. Probably got that too light, to be honest. Soften it up with a bit more colour into it. I've got a feeling this is going to be sort of grey palette I'm working with, not a vibrant one. So I might just you know, use some greyed off tones. Go back to the pastels. But I guess these pastel brushes would be perfect on the A4 sheet, which is, you know, I do work on A4 a lot with pastels rather than larger sizes pieces of paper. So I presume these colours are still going to mix. Well, that's supposed to mix like, I don't know if that's mixing as you'd expect. This colour here actually goes in front of there, doesn't it? Let me pick that one up. I think this brush is fine, but I want something with a sharper edge on both sides. That's actually soft. It says it's hard, but you get a really soft edge on it, which is not exactly what I'm after. Do I put this bit of grey tarmac in there or not? Let's just shrink that down. Let me make sure I've got the whole thing in. Just change the size of the brush there a bit, the type of brush, just to get some sort of little marks. Maybe a bit more on the yellow side. Yellow into that. There we go. Don't want that. Get some more dark colour. This particular brush is quite tricky to handle because you have to keep tilting it to get an odd edge on any particular side. Get some more purple in there. I want these shapes to almost merge together, so it's not like, you know, they're exactly like the photo. Let's pick that colour up and make it a bit lighter, not too light. A bit lighter than that. That working? Don't like that. I think it works to there, but I don't want to go any further than that. On there as well. There we go. I think I may have this a bit too light this side. Just sort of knock it back a bit. Yeah, bring that forward. These darker colours and adding a little bit more colour as well. Just brings that forward a little bit. Soften that off a bit. go. We seem to have come over to set round soft. That's interesting. I've not tried that. Let's see what that's a nice stroke. I like that. Add some texture to the painting. Notice I'm not going in with sort of browns on this. I'm using purples, but letting that orange glow through, and that gives you that kind of brown effect. But I have sort of gone in with the greens on the grass to be a bit more I'm struggling to say the word realistic. Right, let's get this little the main feature in the hut. I've got a feeling I need to sort of just give the impression of twigs and things coming off here. This is in the foreground, and we can just do that a bit. So, you know, it clearly is a fence. There's zigzagging its way up. Like that. Yeah. I've had absolutely no issues with lag with this today, by the way. None whatsoever. That's interesting to know. Right, I'm going to zoom in a bit on here as well, just for this building. I'm only going to put that part of the building. I don't know whether I need maybe a little bit of something there. I don't know. Like that. We've got another. If I pick that colour up there, I can pop that post in. Let's have a look. There we go. I'm going to use that blender just to sort of smudge this out a bit. Just get the impression that the building extends a bit. These posts are way too thick, and I just need to chisel them down a little bit. That's it. There. a little barn. And then this sort of winter tree, which I've moved right next to and possibly in front of. I'm using this round soft brush, which is really seems to be working for me. And just put this in. And as always, I'm pretty much making up the branches. I'm not really looking too close at what we've got on the actual tree, because I haven't got that kind of patience. Do I take it out of the picture? I don't. I'm wondering if I've made it a bit big. Check it out. I'm thinking, because I've gone off the bottom here, go off the top, out the top as well. That might work quite nicely, but just that side and leave that bit there like that. There we are. And I could pick up this pastel again, just sort of chiseling. Things a bit more defined. I do this a lot when I'm using pastels. Yeah, that sort of, I quite like that. I might just, reflect that sky onto that roof a bit more. Not too much. Yeah, there. And maybe in the grass as well. Just bring this colour. Just gentle sweeps. We could have a few lighter coloured grasses in here as well. A few darker ones. There, that's it, I think. Let's get it signed. So that was a quickie. Just about half an hour showing you how to take a really boring photo, to be honest, and void of pretty much colour and everything. Turn it into something a little bit more exciting, hopefully, and I've just sort of taken that zigzag pattern, which just leads you straight up to the focal point in there, and I've pushed things off the edge of the page, which isn't sort of something you normally might do. Rule of thirds, look, I have got it, me building on the rule of thirds on the vertical position, and that line of trees is quite nice on the thirds, and this big chunky bit of edge is on the thirds, so it is kind of split into thirds that way, but I've totally ignored it the other way. But now when I start to analyze it, that tree's not a million miles. The edge of the tree is getting close to the thirds, isn't it? Yeah, and this edge sort of stops in line with that at the thirds. So I'm doing it without even thinking about it. I just wondered about this path actually. You know what? I'm just going to create a new layer so I can just turn it off if I want. Lose my signature, of course. So, okay. I should. I mean, am I going to do it? Sort of put that little bit of green in. I think it's better without it. Just sort of gives a signature bit. I don't know. Without. I'm leaving it without. Okay, just thought I'd try that little experiment. So that's it. Pastels. I'm liking the pastels in Rebelle. They're still not. I don't think they are the best pastels I've ever seen or used. I much prefer the pastels in Critter at this point. Or do I? I mean, am I just wondering if I'm being a bit. I'm looking at this result and it's on a. I think it's on a par. Yeah, I don't. I'm gonna change my mind there and say that these are up there with the Critter pastels if you buy the Atelier pastels, but am I fiddling too much? Sometimes, you know, you just have to leave it, Steve. Yeah, I like them. I like them a lot, and I don't know if it's because I'm using pastels and not paint, but there's absolutely no lag whatsoever with these. So there you go. Think about looking at pattern and how you can use that within your paintings to make interesting compositions. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, big thumbs up as always is much appreciated, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I've got lots of videos like this and I would love to be sharing them with you. So don't forget, everybody, stay safe, stay sane, and keep painting, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.